How's everybody doing? Share so we can start. I will wait for some people to jump in here so we can start. We are live, people. We are live right here on one of the shelters that is governmental funded and federal funded by the government of Mexico. It is really important that you guys share this and see if we can get more audience on the live feed so we can start. As again, I will show this shelter and I will show the property. How big is it? And they are just they just gave me a statement on particularly what is their mission, but it is enormous the labor that they have been doing. It is, you know, we have to say when they're doing good and when they're doing bad. And this specifically shelter is doing good. Now, what are their pretenses and what is their, you know, their future plans? We're going to talk about it in a minute. Let me change the camera for everybody that is watching. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice News. God bless everybody that is watching. God bless my country of Mexico, my city of Tijuana, and God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for giving us 2 legs, 2 arms, a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, and eyes that we can see. God bless every single one of you. I am live, people. We're live outside of the shelter that is federal funded, that has a capacity for more than 1,500 people. 1,500 people. This shelter is federal funded, also ultimately funded by a lot of United States organizations that they're supporting this shelter, and ultimately the United Nations that is supporting this shelter. The shelter is called Centro Integrador para el Migrante Carmen Cerdán. Carmen Cerdán. Let me change the camera for you guys to see this. And this is the shelter. I just talked to the guy in charge, and he gave me specifically the intentions of this shelter. This shelter, what they're doing is that they are recovering the people that they are getting deported, and they are educating them to give them a better life. This is not for people that they're coming from Central America and to receive them here. Apparently not. This shelter right now has gone through the regulations and the agreements that President Trump told Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, the President AMLO. This shelter, it is also complying with the laws and complying with the regulations that the United States government has put the United States government has put now in Mexico to hold the people in Mexico for their court date, and then from here move them to the court date of the United States of America. But this particular shelter, it is helping the migrants that they are getting deported from the United States of America, receiving them right here, and ultimately when they receive them right here, this shelter, it is now their job to find them a job, to create a better pathway for them, to create a better life, and to find them a better, you know, to find them their family, to ultimately get them, you know, support so they can go back home. This is a shelter that is doing that. Right now it has a capacity. Right now they have only 100 migrants right now. And there's, you know, migrants from Mexico, migrants from Central America, and migrants from all parts of the world. But specifically, when they're talking about migrants that they're from other parts of the world and from other continents, they have a different procedure. And you know, this is humongous. I just want to show you the property right here, how huge it is. And I'm gonna walk outside. We'll change the camera so I can, you know, walk outside with you guys. How big is this? And I wanted to come over here. I don't know if the volume is good. Is the volume good? And I just put a mic in the phone, so I don't know if it is working okay and if the voice is being heard correctly. So if the volume is okay, you guys can just say yes, and it is working. So this shelter, particularly, it was federal funded by Mexico, and it is due to the fact that there were going to be a lot of people that they were going to be deported. Now, these people that they're being deported, they need a place to go. They need a place to stay. They need a place to, you know, to stay in the meantime, that they find a job, that they find somewhere to go, that they find a place to go, that they find a recreation, for them to not be committing crimes, for them not to be going back to a violent atmosphere, for them to have a home, and for them to do something productive. This is the shelter right here. I'm walking outside of the whole property of the shelter. It is humongous, and it has a capacity for 1,500. My obligation today to come over here is to ultimately ask if they are going to be open now that Joe Biden, it is potentially going to be the president-elect. Now, my question is, have the policies changed and have the idea changed since, you know, they are awaiting the new administration? And they say yes. They are waiting for what the administration of the United States is going to do with this new policies of Joe Biden. They have the dream and they have the ultimate, you know, the ultimate idea that Joe Biden is going to be more open, you know, more open with the immigration laws. They're going to be more open with Joe Biden, and they're going to have more possibilities for them to have their cases being heard and their asylum cases to be heard in the United States of America, and to ultimately not be waiting over here the whole process of immigration. This means that possibly Joe Biden is going to be bringing the catch and release situation, and ultimately there's going to be opening more shelters in the borders for them to be taking care of them in the United States of America, not in Mexico. So this particular shelter right here that I'm showing you right now has a capacity for 1,500. This shelter, it is providing schools, it is providing jobs, it is providing good atmosphere for the migrants that they're getting deported by the United States of America. This is not a shelter that is taking migrants that they're coming from the South America or Central America. This is a particular shelter that is taking people that they're getting deported by the United States over here. So this shelter is actually helping the community by creating better individuals in society, giving them a better job, giving them a better opportunity, giving them a job, giving them also the chance so they can find their families. This is complying with the laws. This right here, people, this right here is ultimately complying with the laws of the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. This big property right here, humongous property right here, this humongous property, it is complying with the laws of what Donald Trump said. You know, Donald Trump told the government of Mexico, you have to have a place for these people that they're going to be deported. You have to have a place for all these people that they're going to be awaiting. You have to have a place for these people to be awaiting and be safely awaiting over there. And you have to provide jobs for them to be busy. Meanwhile, their asylum or refugee case, or they're trying to return over to the United States of America, if they're trying to return back, you have to have a place. So the government of Mexico listened, and they provided this place. In the meantime that they're providing this place, they're providing jobs, they're providing all this good atmosphere for these people that are getting deported, so they won't have the necessity to go back, and they will create a better life over here in our country of Mexico. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice News. We're live at a shelter that it's federal funded, and it has a capacity for more than 1,500 migrants, and they are awaiting now the process in the new administration of the 20th of January. This is going to be heating up, and this is going to be kicked up now that due to the fact that Joe Biden has made statements saying that he's going to provide a better pathway for migrants to come from Central America to the north. Now, right now there's a big problematic in Tapachula where migrants are rioting and they're fighting with each other with the Institute National of Immigration due to the fact that they're not opening the Institute National of Immigration, and ultimately they're not giving the visas of transit. This has caused a lot of commotion over there in Tapachula. So I will show the property right now for everybody that is watching. Let me walk around right here. Super Chat is on the bottom for people that want to donate and contribute to my work. God bless you all. The property is pretty big right here. Let me walk right here with you guys. You walk right here. It's inside of this mountain right here. And I just talked to the person in charge, and the person in charge was, the person in charge was pretty nice to me. Practically, I've been A lot of people have been denying me access to shelters because of what I stand for. And I stand for legal immigration. I stand for, you know, the right to be done. I stand for law and order. I stand for things to be done correctly. And a lot of people have been getting mad at me. You know, they don't give me access because I stand for those things. And it's crazy because I'm like, okay, I'm standing for legal migration. That has nothing to do with irregular migration. And what the guy told me right here is that a lot of coyotes are coming over here. And they're practically asking people if, you know, when do they want to go? How do they want to go? And if they want to go earlier as possible. This has created an atmosphere of irregularities over here in this shelter. You see, there's a big property and there's people right here outside of the shelter, and it has, you know, a green kind of like curtain so people won't see in. This is the whole property right here. It's humongous, and it has a lot of portable bathrooms outside. It's exactly the same as when we came over here the last time. This is, you know, practically changing the perspective of how they're handling the immigration right now in our country. And if it is going to be changing, because Tijuana is a big city and it has been receiving a lot of big you know, caravans. As you can see right there, there's clothing right there. There's the National Guard, and the National Guard there's the National Guard right there. You see a National Guard officer right there walking around in the middle of the park, and there's the National Guard is right here. Why the National Guard is right here? Because the National Guard was deployed over here because it's federal funded. So officers have to be over here, that they are part of the National Guard. They, you know, there's no private police officers or there's no law enforcement right here. It's only National Guard. So the military is right here to take care of the situation, and to also, because this shelter is coming out of the federal funds, it's coming out of the Mexican taxes. Ultimately, the authority that has to take care of this shelter has to be, you know, the military. So this is amazing for everybody that is watching. We're walking right here, showing you the big property, as a lot of things in immigration are going to change. Now that, you know, we have less than 8 days, believe that it's 8 days, I don't know if it is days, to the inauguration of supposedly this president-elect Joe Biden. And a lot of things they are speculating in this immigration situation, a lot of these things. So, you know, you know, there's a lot of things that are happening. The House of Representatives just voted to impeach again the president. They're trying to push for the 25th Amendment, and it is amazing that they're trying to push for the 25th Amendment with this, you know, with the situation. It is like the president said. Like the president said a couple days ago, you know, it's the worst witch hunt that has been happening in history, probably the worst witch hunt in history, the worst witch hunt in history. And he said this, and it is, you know, it is absolute, it's an absolute truth. It is the worst witch hunt in history, And this guy, you know, this president, the president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, is the most attacked president in history, possibly. And it is, you know, the most attacked president that is so, you know, the idea right now of the left. Have you guys noticed that they're doing exactly what Donald Trump was going to do? He's, you know, Donald Trump said, I'm going to create a better pathway and possibly, you know, the citizenship for recipients of DACA. And now the left and the Democrats are saying, we're going to create a better recipients for DACA. Now, Donald Trump also said, we're going to create a program for homeless. Now the left and the Democrats are saying, we're going to create a program for homeless. Everything that President Donald Trump was saying, now the Democrats are doing it. And the most amazing thing is that they were just trying to get him out. They were just trying to get him out. That was the main purpose. Get him out so we can start doing all these things, so we can push our narrative and our agenda. So back to the main subject. Right here, you see the shelter. It's humongous. It's next to the mountain. I wanted to do a broadcast to tell you what's up with this shelter, you know, and it is, for me, this shelter is doing positive things. Why positive things? Because this shelter, it is holding everything that is getting deported from the United States of America. A lot of deported Mexicans, they don't have a place to go, and they don't have a place to receive a second opportunity in life. This shelter, it is providing all the deported people so they can have a recreational area, so they can search for a place, so they can find a job, and they can also find their parents. Now, we don't know what is going to happen as soon as the caravans start to pour in the next month or so. We don't know what is going to happen, if this shelter is going to have the capacity to receive them, and ultimately is going to lead to the understanding that this shelter is going to be started to take them. If this shelter is going to start taking them, it's going to pull to the maximum capacity. The maximum capacity of this shelter is, and the guy just told me, 1,500. Now they are having a problem with coyotes. This is a normal problem that has been occurring in all the shelters. This shelter, it is, every shelter in Tijuana, it is bombarded by coyotes. The thing that Joe Biden doesn't understand, that actually, child trafficking and actually human smuggling and human trafficking and sex trafficking, it is occurring right now. And the guys say it's an inevitable thing. We tell them to stay over here, but as soon as they go, and if they get deported and they want to come back here, they're not going to be accepted. We're giving them a one chance opportunity to stay over here, to make a better life for themselves, and to be a better human being in society and the community in Tijuana. And if they don't want to do that, that is their own fault. But they are saying that they have a lot of problems with coyotes. Now, I have been really vocal about this, and it is happening right now. More than 34,000 kids have been trafficked in the caravan since 2018, and more than 72,000 children, unaccompanied children, have been rescued in the administration of Trump. This tells you also that in the year 2019, more than 4,800 fake families were registered, and in the year of 2018, more than 5,800, and the year in 2019, more than 4,800. It is amazing. The fake families, the fake marriages, and then the enormous child trafficking that is occurring. It is going to completely have an effect. Sorry there, had a bad signal. It's completely going to have an effect right here. And the business with these nonprofit organizations from the United States of America, it is amazing, because as soon as they see caravans pouring in, all these nonprofit organizations are going to keep coming to the borders of Mexico and to the borders of all the borders that connect to the United States of America. One of them is Sonora. They have a lot of nonprofit organizations over there in the part of Arizona. One of them is New Mexico. One of them is is Tijuana with California, Mexicali with California, Ciudad Juarez with Texas, Piedras Negras, Coahuila with, the borders of New Mexico. A lot of borders, and the property goes all the way down. Let me just change the camera right here so you guys can see actually the property, how it's from outside. So the property is really here. It's really big. So my whole purpose, how's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice News. Super Chat is on the bottom for people that want to donate and contribute to my work. God bless you all. Super Chat is on the bottom. This is the front part of the property right here. So I'm walking right here. This is the other part. And this part right here is also rented, apparently. Last time that I heard, it was also rented in case of they got an overflow of people. This right here, they can camp out, and they can actually put tents right here. And also this street, they can actually put tents right here in this street, and also in the interior of the parking lot. And also that back park over there, and I'm gonna focus this right here, that specific parking lot right there on the top and the bottom, on the top, excuse me, that specifically, that part is also being put for people to, if this shelter gets an overflow. Now let me walk right here so you can see the actual neighborhood. And I'm actually in a really bad neighborhood. This neighborhood, I know this neighborhood for a long time ago. And this neighborhood is not quite a safe neighborhood. There's a lot of drug distribution right here, and there's a lot of assault with a deadly weapon in this neighborhood. This is one of the things that migrants are pushing right now for these lawyers from the United States of America, for them to advocate for them, that their legal case and also their asylum seeker case and also the refugee case be handled in the United States of America, as it was before, when Donald Trump, said to the American people, we're not going to do that anymore. It's overflowing our courts. It's clogging our courts. It is basically, we are stuck with a lot of people in the courts, and we don't have enough space. Now, due to that factor, the catch and release stopped. And now that Joe Biden is coming into office, they want to bring catch and release again. And that is one of the purposes that, a lot of the American people don't like. A lot of U.S. citizens don't like the catch and release, because that means that they are going to be putting these kind of shelters inside of the country of the United States of America and provide shelter for people that they're searching for asylum. Now, the number is escalating, people. The number of people looking for shelter and looking for refugee, it is absolutely, outrageous. People that they are waiting in Tapachula, they're around 6,000 to 8,000 people. People that are waiting in Guatemala to come over here, around 10,000 people. People that are waiting over here in the border of Tijuana, they're talking about from 10 to 12,000 people. You're talking about a humongous amount. Now, people that are speculated to come on the year of 2021, according to the activist Luis Villagran, he's talking about 70 to 80,000 people. That is a lot of people. That is a lot of people. So this is my reason of coming over here, to show you the capacity of this shelter, that is only taking people that is deported. But if the situation gets worse, and if the situation puts into complete matter where they don't have nowhere to put them, right here in Tijuana, in the borders of Juarez, they're going to have to, admit them in this kind of shelters. Thank you so much for your $5 contribution to RLRL. God bless you, Oscar, and all your work. Always informative. Thank you so much. Super Chat is on the bottom for people that want to donate and contribute to my work. Thank you so much. I'm walking right here at this property, and I will walk again to the outside of the shelter to show you guys, how big it is. The Center for Migrants, Carmen Cerdán, federal funded. This shelter was opened by the governor of Baja California, that is the state that I live in, lawyer Bonilla, Jaime Bonilla, that is a governor. Our governor, Jaime Bonilla, was the one that provided all the tools for this to be open. This due to the fact that Donald Trump told the administration of Mexico, after the tariff, Donald Trump told AMLO, the president of Mexico, all right, you're going to get a lot of fluency of migrants because you are in the globalist compact of immigration. If you're not going to get out, provide me and help me with a place to put them, because I'm not going to hold them. There's a lot of people. So if I'm going to come over here and people are going to come over here irregularly, I need a place to deport them, because I'm going to return them back. Their case is not going to be handled in the U.S. It's going to be handled in Mexico. So I need a place for them to be handling all the, all the irregularities of people that are coming in. They're going to be, deported. And this was created. So practically Mexico right now, with Trump and AMLO, they're following after the tariff threat that it was occurring in the year of 2020, the year 2019 and 2020. After the tariff threat, things started happening and things started going good. The government of Mexico started stopping the caravans. They have stopped 3 already. And also this kind of shelters have been provided, and not only here. They have been providing this kind of shelters around the whole borders. Also, the sad thing about this is that the United Nations has come into our country and has provided a lot of support to these kind of shelters. What is support? Let me change the camera for explaining to you guys. Support that I mean beds, bunk beds. Ultimately, they have, they have a kitchen. The World Kitchen Organization has, the World Food Organization has come to our country and provided, you know, kitchens that they are worth between $2,000 to $5,000. That is an amazing amount, and they have been providing all of this stuff. The United Nations already created a shelter in Tapachula, Chiapas, named Solidarity and Prosperity. This shelter was created because all the fluency that is going to come on the year 2021, they already preparing themselves, and this is my whole perspective and my whole point of coming over here right now to show you this particular shelter. God bless you all. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice News. God bless everybody that is watching. I'm live right now walking around in this shelter that is called Carmen Cerdán, a shelter that is providing shelter for people that are getting deported from the United States of America so they can provide them jobs and a better life to become a better human being in the society and to not return back illegally to the United States of America. Irregularities in this shelter is only that coyotes come back and forth to offer their services and to cross them illegally to the United States of America. That is a humongous thing that it has, and a humongous insecurity that has been continuously happening in every shelter of Tijuana. God bless you all. Follow my partner at Orbis.net, and also you can follow him at Parler. Also you can follow him at Facebook, at YouTube. Follow him at YouTube. He will probably be doing a live feed later on this afternoon. You can follow me at Facebook as Oscar L. Blue, and also you can subscribe to my channel as Oscar L. Blue, and also you can become a member in my channel of YouTube as Oscar L. Blue. God bless you all. Stay safe, and like we always say, peace and love, everybody, because always your country's first. And I will be live in a few moments in another place for you guys. God bless you all. Stay safe.